Yo, this is Jay Diff with the New Old Heads, and this is episode 446. Blah. In this episode, we discussed Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist latest offering of Alfredo 2. After that conversation, we pivoted into Drake. Is his catalog being unfairly critiqued as far as how he's being perceived after the battle with him and Kendrick? Our last conversation, we talked about G Herbo discussing DJ Vlad and Akademiks and their need to pay Chicago for pretty much cultural appropriation. That and more on episode 446 of the New Old Heads podcast. You can get the uncut version if you are a Patreon. Check us out. Until next time, peace.
You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. The brothers are in the building. We got a full house today, starting off with my man Jay Moore. How are you, good sir?
Doing well, doing very well. Just trying to stay cool.
I like that, man. My man Longevity's in the building from the pilot seat. How are you, sir?
What's up, man? Doing all right? How are you?
Good, man. Happy to see you as always.
You as well?
Are you happy?
Feeling all right?
All right. All right. DJ Jay Diff, what's happening, man?
Salutations.
You good, brother?
I'm great, man. Exceptionally.
All right, I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Man, brother to the night is in the building as well. How are you, good buddy?
I'm swell. Yeah.
Love when you sound like that. Shout out to my man Ezekiel in the building as well. All right, so
How'd you get Ezekiel from?
we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that. No disrespect. Freddie Gibbs, who we talked about last week.
Freddie.
With the,
Damn, you gonna do him like that?
Why we gotta start that way? I'm lying.
Here you go, man. You got an Alfredo shirt on, man.
I
Come
do.
on, man.
I'm a fan.
Okay, I was just
I
gonna
really
put that
am.
out there. So yeah,
I really am, but
Let it
that
be
was
known.
funny. He said he was still gonna shake Akademiks' titties.
Yeah,
Well,
he did. I like that song.
I
too.
laughed when I heard
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I laughed when I heard
What song
that.
is that? Never mind. Get to it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Not because I don't want to get
I
sidetracked.
got you, bro. So, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, they have served their second portion of Alfredo.
Helping.
I'll take helping. Works for me. So the project was released. This is the second installment. Now, it has features of Anderson .Paak, Larry June, I believe, JID. Correct me if I miss anybody else. 14 songs on the record. He talks about, what he normally talks about, but also snuck in some Jim Jones, a little bit of Benny the Butcher. They say a Currency disc as well.
I was not happy about that at all.
I'm a Currency fan.
But it was accurate.
Was it currency?
Hey, Lon, I was going to ask, is it accurate? Was it accurate?
It's pretty accurate.
was accurate?
It
So-
kind of was.
So look, let's.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do. 'Cause we got a couple things to talk about on this. I want to focus first on just the overall reactions of the project and how everyone felt. And then we're going to get into some more layers later. But just your overall response, be mindful. We got, 5 opinions, so short and sweet. But how'd you feel about the project?
Go to me first.
Go ahead, bro. Yep.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
No flaws, no misses.
No flaws to
That's
me.
high praise.
Yeah. Gibbs, man, is first and foremost, there's not an artist outside of Michael Jackson from Indiana that I could be proud of like that, for real.
You don't like John Cooper
Like
Mellencamp?
Babyface?
I'm cool.
I'm just joking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Babyface?
What about Axl Rose?
Okay, Babyface.
Don't be disrespectful.
What about Blind Melon?
Babyface.
I hate
Yeah,
him. I hate Long.
I have no idea.
The little girl in the B outfit. Then
Just don't disrespect.
all I can say.
There's plenty playing. Yeah.
R.I.P. Shannon Hoon.
Just don't disrespect.
I didn't know that was
Babyface,
from
bro.
Indiana.
He was a Purdue guy. That's the only reason why I know.
Okay.
Just don't disrespect Babyface, bro.
Babyface, Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Freddie Gibbs.
I can dig that.
Okay.
Michael Jackson, Babyface, Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
They gotta put it in.
Now we got it in
Yeah.
proper context.
Yeah,
All
but-
right.
yeah.
Go ahead, man. About the project.
The project was flawless to me. You know what I mean? And it's actually the third outing I've heard between Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs.
Second Alfredo, though, officially,
The
right?
second Alfredo.
Okay.
But Freddie was phenomenal too.
It was.
And
Yeah.
Freddie shined on that one.
He did. He did.
So, Gibbs, man, look, the man's discography, you can put it up against a whole bunch of.
I vouch for
Hell
that.
yeah.
Right.
I
now,
vouch
you
for
know what I
that.
mean?
I vouch for that.
Anderson Shine. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how big of a Larry June fan I am.
Probably the biggest I know.
He really pissed me off on this album. I was like, as soon as he came on, I was like, I really wish he wouldn't have been on here because that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yo, that's big coming from you.
And then I heard June come on. I was like, man, if you don't shut the up,
the whole song, bro.
Yeah, like because the feel of the song was headed one place.
Yeah,
and then June came up, he slowed it all the way down, and then Gibbs, he came and tried to salvage it, but it changed the complete feel of the song when he came on, man. Not to say that, you know what I mean, he just June, man.
We sense your frustration.
Yeah. But all in all, I still, like I said, 10 out of 10.
What you got, Jay Diff? What you think, man?
I think it was a phenomenal listen.
You have a number?
I don't know if I'm gonna rank it a number because I don't know if I stated a number for the Clips album.
Fair enough.
And I'm kind of going back and forth on which album I like more so far. So I'm not going to say a number.
That's fair.
I will say that this is a great album. To me, it almost ushers in another genre of rap to me, though. That I would dub like easy listening hip hop or rap, because like it's very easy to listen to this album. Yeah, like from front to back. That's why there's no skips on here.
Zero.
Because I can let it ride, and it's very easy to listen to. I mean, he's talking some shit here, but it's still real mellow, and you know what I'm saying. Right. It's like a new age of easy listening style music, and I really liked it, man. And Gibbs is rapping still like the rent is due, and like he's still out here moving packs, although he's letting you know that he's not. But I just like that he still sounds hungry, and that's something that's important to me, because just like the Clips review that we had, the Clips still sound like they want to rap. They're not doing this just because they want to. Same with Freddie. Freddie is out here rapping his ass off and showing that he's a top tier rapper. Yeah, and that he is not to be slept on. And to your point, if you think about his discography. He really don't have any misses, man. No. Like even remember the Freddie album where he dressed up like
the album
what's
was
the name on the cover?
Teddy Pendergrass. That was good.
That was good. It was fun. You know, I think that was Freddie Gibbs' fun album. And he got on this album and pretty much, like, to your point on as far as Larry June kind of brought the energy down. He got on that album and was like, "This is my producer, and I'm gonna show you what to do with him."
Man, he said that too, and it really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But it's hard to argue. It really is hard to argue, man.
Yeah, their chemistry is better. I'm sorry,
it is, man. It's like
it's a lot better.
He's making classic rap albums with this dude, man, and he gets Alchemist. I hate to say Alchemist is in a box, but for some reason, because he can do all kinds of things, but his production with Freddie Gibbs to me sounds different.
It is different.
But is that Freddie Gibbs or is that Alchemist?
I think they kind of just coexist with each other. The chemistry is just there.
Combination
and brings it out of them.
Because I mean, I feel the same way about anybody that Alchemist really gets with, but it's just the way that Freddie Gibbs slides on Alchemist production, and I can't just put that on him and Alchemist because he's done the same thing with Madlib.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask too. So like, maybe I might be skipping ahead. Let me let y'all talk about what's going on.
What did you think overall about this second helping?
I gave it a 9.
Oh, okay. Put that number on it then.
Yeah, I mean, I gave the Clips an 8. So
let me see where he stands.
There's no skips. Just like Terry said, like you said, Byron, there's nothing to run to. It takes a lot to get a 10 out of 10. The one thing that I will say about this project, even though there are no skips, there was also nothing about this album that stood out.
Yeah, there was no real substance there.
It was just another really good album. And I finished listening to it, and the only thing that really stuck out to me from listening to it was like, I really like the Anderson .Paak song.
Yes.
Me too.
But that was like the only thing that kind of stuck out to me, except for a couple of shots that he took and stuff like that. He's just doing what he does, and he does it really well. Yeah. But I've heard Freddie Gibbs do this so many times that that's why it's not perfect, because it just sounds like another really good album to me. You know, it sounds very similar to the Madlib records and all of his Alchemist stuff. The one thing I will say, and then I'll keep moving, is that the difference in the production style from Alchemist on this one is that he has more drums. He has more drums with Freddie Gibbs.
Yes.
And that's what stood out to me. I was like, okay.
Yes.
Because so to me, that's Alchemist catering to Freddie's style a little bit more.
And to me, before I pass it to Jay, I still think Bandana and what am I missing? What's Bandana? Pinata are better than this one. I think Madlib, his chemistry with Madlib to me is better than what it is with the Alchemist.
I like Pinata better. I do. I like that.
Now that's just the side I'm on. Not saying I enjoy Alfredo because I do like both of them. But we talk about a synergy from producer to rapper. Him and Madlib actually shocked me where I was like, okay.
I think that's just shock though. But
I think top to bottom, those are amazing records.
I think he had a little bit more depth in some of the songs that
I can agree with that.
On Pinata.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because, those records are...
Especially Pinata more than Bandana to me.
Yeah, man. Like, those two records are... To me, those are incredible records.
I think those albums actually created a cult following for Freddie Gibbs.
I would agree.
Those are the ones.
I would agree.
I wouldn't say the Alfredo series has. I think... You probably had to be a fan of Gibbs, or you might have heard him like, oh, damn, this is actually dope.
Yeah.
When you got hip to Alfredo's. But like the Madlib joints were like cult classics.
Yeah.
And that's not that far of a jump to go from that to being able to appreciate Alfredo, which to me is dope. But go ahead, Jay, you finish it up and then we'll get to our next speaking point. What do you think about Alfredo?
I think this is a great album. Once again, this is why I listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, I listen for beats. I listen to for people who are actually care about rhyming.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Freddie, regardless of what you think he's rapping about, he's rapping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have to give props to the Alchemist. He's on a run right now that is with this album. I'm not sure if you guys have listened to the new record he's got with Erykah Badu.
I want you to hold that thought until on the run part, because we're gonna get to that. Just stay on this one for now.
All right,
we're gonna get to the run part.
Yeah, I'll get those out later. But as far as like, I remember we had a conversation a few months ago about, you know, if we put to use my terminology, if you put the CDs on the table, you know, can't remember how we got between J. Cole and Freddie, and going back and listening to some other records that, you know, listen to Pinata and Bandana, and then listening to this new album. I just went on a kind of a Freddie Gibbs journey when I had a little bit of free time, you know, this weekend. And I'm telling you what, I said J. Cole then, I was wrong. It is Freddie Gibbs.
Wow,
it is Freddie Gibbs. You know, because
really
like when you get more, when you get more information, sometimes you have to go ahead and change what you said from earlier.
Yeah,
I respect that, Jay. I respect that.
I agree. When it comes to actually rapping and, like you said, CDs on the table, you really can't deny this man's discography. I mean, he just dropped an album not even a year ago. He dropped the album on Halloween,
which had heat on it though.
Had heat on it.
Yeah,
and it made it. That album actually made you feel like he was about to be done with rapping. Period.
Yeah,
you talking about So separately?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not So. No, not that one.
Gibbs' album.
Yeah,
that one So separately though. That's the one that had the rabbit on the cover.
Yeah,
the one where he was kind of talking to the devil the whole time. Is that what that one is?
Pusha T was on that one. Pusha T was on that one.
That album came out like Halloween.
Yeah,
and then here we are in July, and you already got another album.
Or you think it'll only die once?
Yeah, that's
the record.
You only die once. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you putting the CDs on the table.
Yeah.
If you ain't talking about whatever rap style you like or prefer, Gibbs actually got him.
Yeah. No, salute to him, man. He is he's carved out one hell of a discography, and Jay was talking about the Alchemist, and I'll come to you first.
Before you go there, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me, like we're talking about Freddie Gibbs' discography, what in his discography, all of us have listened to most of his projects for the most part.
I've heard all of it.
What's your favorite project from Gibbs?
Probably You Only Live Once.
That's twice. You Only Live Twice. That's mine.
The one right after he got out of jail.
Yeah, that's my favorite Gibbs project.
That, to me, he just felt more personal.
He's got a record on there called Alexis.
Yep.
I think it's called. That record is crazy, bruh.
A close second would be probably Pinata. but only because that showed everybody, like to Mike's point, that was like, okay, Gibbs is here and he's trying a new style.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit more personal on it. A lot of his stuff is, like Terry said, a lot of his like good background music. Like he doesn't really make bad records. I forgot about Soul Separately. That's fire almost front to back too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's the one, the Vegas story. That's that's the one where you're in Vegas. Yeah.
I think it's between Pinata and
Alexis, that's the one Catronata did, right?
yeah, that record is fire, man.
that it's either Catron and Bad Bad Not Good Together. I think.
Yeah,
Like also collab.
That's the one chick, the one sample, I Adore You sample.
The beat is crazy.
It's like track 2 and track 3 on there that are really good back to
He
back.
got
I
some
can't remember the name of the other one.
He got some cold ass mixtapes too, bro.
You got the LRG
one with the what's the
mixtape?
name?
I remember
Hell Till Hell Freezes Over.
Yep.
boy, he played joints from way back in the day. He played joints for Cold Day in Hell before it came out.
That's the one, Cold Day in
Cold
Hell.
Day in Hell is crazy. Freeway is on there. Like that whole mixtape is stupid.
You talking
bro.
about the one with the
Straight Killer No Filler?
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
Pinata's probably the one I played the most.
the Where Your Heart At sample. He used the same sample as Where Your Heart At from Mobb Deep.
It's between Pinata and Bandana.
I
for
think
me.
I'm with you on that one because even with this new Alfredo 2 is fire.
It is.
Like,
It is.
don't get me wrong. It's almost like I want to put this in the mix, but I've listened to those a lot more. But like I said, I just got back.
But this just came out.
It just came out,
yeah.
but I've ran it 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's still
still good.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, this isn't an album that grows. It was already good when I first heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some albums you listen to it and you be like, okay, that was cool.
Tyler's.
You listen to it again, you be like, okay,
Damn,
that's
y'all.
a little better. And then it
Don't
kind
do that
of
long.
it eventually catches you.
Mm-hmm.
This album, as soon as I listened to it, I was like, shit, it's good.
Yeah.
Easy listening.
But that's just how some art is made. You know, some art is made in a way that it's just supposed to hit you like that, and other stuff is supposed to make you dig a little deeper, or you know, because it's a little different. It's not what you expected.
I was listening to Palm Olive the other day with Killer Mike.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Lone
Yeah.
texted me the night that album came out. He was like, "Listen to this song with Killer Mike. I'll see you tomorrow." I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, "You gonna like this?" Yeah, I remember playing that. It was crazy.
So Separately was good too, though.
Hell yeah. You got a song with Pusha T on there that's fire, bro. Let me get back to this rundown. Jay Moore, you kind of alluded to this. This was the second question that was into our rundown in terms of The Alchemist. Can we kind of talk about what type of run that he's on, considering all of the most recent collaborations? And this goes back farther than just this year or last year. He's literally been on an incredible run that I think spans way past that. COVID, pre-COVID, like he's been very consistent with his collaboration projects, or even just when he has a one-off here and there. Bam has also shaped the sound too. There's a lot of people out here no drumming it, and it's not Griselda. It's definitely The Alchemist. So what do y'all think about him? Like what kind of run is he on?
Even if you just take, this most current album with Freddie Gibbs, the song we had a conversation about, not the song, but, the collaboration we heard about, he's going to work with Erykah Badu, and we wondered how that was going to work.
Yeah.
And the song that they have out together is incredible. It's probably something I run at least once a day. I put it on my restaurant's playlist, so you come to my place of business, you're going to hear it.
There you go.
And then I had to go back, because I missed this. I was reminded of it by my man James Biko with Trackstar the DJ. They have a mix show on Sirius XM on Friday nights, and they played a track from Rock Marciano, from their project together last year. And I based on that one song I heard, I said I got to go back and revisit this because now I'm on an Alchemist kick, and I'm telling you, for somebody who honestly has been consistent over the last 20 years at this point,
Keep it a buck.
and for him to be really in this pocket where I think I think he's really going to get his just due, to where people are going to be like, okay, more than just, the folks like us who are just deep into this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to talk about, Pharrell doing, and props to them because I'm still running that Clips album.
100%.
Pharrell just has the star power. But The Alchemist is out here just on a run that can't really be matched by anyone else in the industry.
Hip hop.
What you think, B? Just in terms of the run that the Alchemist has been on. How many years you want to,
I can't disagree. He be jamming, man.
He be jamming.
You know what I mean?
Jam on.
That's the only thing I could say. You know what I mean? I it's not much that I've heard from him that I've been like, man, nah, keep that. I did have this conversation with a friend of mine that, he was really peeved by Alchemist records just because he was like, man, drop some drums. Like,
was it me?
Ron was like, that could have been me.
He was like, man,
key.
this record would have been dope. It would have been that much better if you put some drums on it.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that's not what you go to Alchemist for. You know what I mean? That's why that is what. But even then, he is who he is because that's what he does. You know what I mean? So that's why you go into Alchemist, because you want that sauce. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted something different, I could go to somebody else, or they could do something together. But I'm going to Alchemist because I want them samples that I've never heard before.
But think about this. His interview on the Breakfast Club when he was with 2 Chainz, and he forced and let everybody know his idea of simplicity.
Yeah.
How you can overthink records, overproduce them, and how it gave 2 Chainz a pocket that he was in, and they start talking about all that. And I'm like, listening to that project, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
It works.
I think it works for anybody. I know me thinking with rapper brain. You give me a pocket, like just hearing the record stripped like that, you give me the chance to dance on the record however I decide to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily have to follow a cadence or pick a cadence or whatever. I could do whatever the I want to on this record because it's open landscape for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because he's creating something to where the rapper doesn't necessarily have to ride the beat. Mm-hmm. The beat is creating the landscape, so to speak, for the rapper to go off and do whatever they want to do. But Alchemist's style has evolved and transcended through different eras. And I think that's why he's so unique in what he does. Because he approaches it as an actual musician. He's been doing this exact same thing since he came out. I mean, he had joints with Mobb Deep back in the day.
With more drums.
More drum, yeah. Like when you think of the Mobb Deep beats that Alchemist did,
Jada Kiss, yeah, more drum,
Dilated Peoples,
yeah, they was drummed up.
Yeah.
But like now, it's like being an artist, he's comfortable trying different things, and it's still working for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I appreciate about his artistry and what he does. And I think a lot of the people that are really into hip hop, because regardless of what you say, you got rap and you got hip hop. People that are really into or were raised off of hip hop, no matter what style of rap they do, they still want that particular sound. And he's one of the producers you can go to that's going to get that for you.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what he's doing, and I wouldn't even say it's a run. It's just him doing him and actually working with artists versus. And I don't even know their creative process. I don't know if he's sending beats and they're doing whatever they're doing, or if they're actually working together. It sounds like they're working together to me.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
I'm gonna just send you this beat and you do something on it.
Yeah, I think so.
It sounds like he's actually around the creative process. So I like that. I like producers like that as a whole. So what he's doing is solid.
Lone, put a bow on this in terms of Alchemist run. Have we touched on everything or anything you want to add?
He's just on I think he is on a phenomenal run right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the massive amount of work. Like it's Larry June, 2 Chainz, it's Freddie Gibbs, and he's probably dropping something tomorrow. Like I feel like he's dropping
Erykah
stuff.
Badu album coming.
There you go.
Like it's just he's constantly in our faces with new material. And and it's him. But yeah, no, he's just to me he is on a pretty crazy kind of run right now. I mean, just all the stuff that he's dropping constantly. His name is constantly being talked about.
Yeah.
And I think this might, granted, he's had a very long career. Terry's talking about him stuff with Mobb Deep and Jada Kiss. And, but he goes back even before that.
Yep.
Like he was a young little rapper back in the early 90s. You know what I mean? Like back he had a whole phase where he didn't rap at all.
Facts.
That's
And
crazy.
then he came back and started rapping again. You know what I mean? So other stuff, he was just featured on Evidence's new album, rapping. You know what I mean? They're good friends. They've known each other for a long time. So I just think he's on a really. I think this is one of the better hip hop producer runs I think I've ever seen.
I agree.
One of the things I think, just to kind of put a bow on it, that makes this album special and this, and even the Clips album, not that just I got to tie the clips and everything, but we've heard 2 excellent albums where there is one producer working with the artist.
Yeah.
It's not this whole patchwork situation. Nothing against that. And honestly, when you think about some of your favorite albums that you've enjoyed over the past couple of years, that's what it's been. A lot of it has been done by the Alchemist. Now that I think about it, even thinking about like one of my favorite Prodigy records was Return to Mac. It was kind of like a very like independent.
Him and the Alchemist, Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I was about to say I like Albert
That's
Einstein.
another example of knocking it out the park.
That kind of leads to a whole nother.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just seeing,
conversation.
And then when you go into Hit Boy and the work that he did with Nas, we're getting these great albums where an artist is locking in with a producer.
Yeah, that could. Your point leads to another conversation about is that what artists needs to do right now as far as creating a cohesive, solid offering.
It's going to be hard because everybody's so used to sending, stems and whatnot back and forth through email.
I want y'all to hold that because that might be something we can revisit. I want to get to this next one.
Okay.
But I actually like that one, so I got to remember that.
I just want to say one
because we
thing.
definitely can talk about that. Go ahead, B.
I don't want to hear Alchemist rapping very much anymore. like
you were doing so well.
Yeah,
you were doing so well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the production, man.
It's got to come on around, don't you?
The rapping.
I don't think he's as bad as.
He's not terrible.
Here's what I'll say. I actually like this will be controversial, and it's not because I'm white.
Can we clip it?
I like Alchemist rapping more than Larry June.
I knew you was about to say that.
More than
And
Larry
we're gonna
Jones?
clip that. We have to clip that. Yeah, we got to clip that.
I knew you was about to say that shit.
Because didn't Alchemist do that song? It was a real weird collaboration. It was
I'm not mad at you.
It was Twista and Maxwell.
He had a whole collaboration.
Yeah, he did.
That's one of my favorite.
People forget
joints.
he
And he
should
rapped on that.
Didn't he rap on the joint with the 2 twins?
Nina Sky.
Nina Sky.
Nina Sky.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
rapped
he
on
rapped
that.
on
Hold, the Hold You Down. Yeah,
He definitely got bars.
He sounded
didn't
good
think
on. He sounded good on.
I didn't think he was that
Hold
bad
Down.
on that.
I don't think he's not one of my favorite rappers or anything like that, but
It's some people you'll take him over, huh?
I
Mo?
heard him on that. It's just I'm thinking about him on The Great Escape, and 60 Days is a song that I really enjoy with Larry June.
Yeah.
And then Alchemist comes on there, and I'm like, shut the up.
Respectful.
Look here, man.
There you go.
thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member. All details on newoldheads.com.
Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. Are they actually boring on this project?
Oh my God.
So shout out to the homie.
Somebody said that.
Man, shout out to the homie Read My Soul.
I've heard that.
We know Read My Soul.
Somebody else told me that too.
Yeah, he's the homie. Shot us up a couple times. Got great content. Does great work. And he shared his thoughts on Alfredo too. And I cannot wait to see what you guys think about this video because he may have some points into what he's saying. So we'll watch this video and we can discuss.
I feel as though people are obsessed with this new flow and they think this is the pure hip hop flow and it's a snooze fest, right? And listen, we just came off the Clips album and I'm comfortable with the subject matter and I'm comfortable with a subject matter that is the same, right? Because this is the same. I've listened to a lot of Freddie's projects. Now, I am a Benny fan. I do prefer Benny, man. Stab and Shot 2, amazing. I like 38 Special. I like Benny. It took me a while to like those guys because sometimes the subject matter is the same, right? But when you start listening to the 38 Specials, when you start listening to the Bennys, and when you start even listening to the Conways, right? You start listening to these Griselda guys, and that camp, they're doing it differently. Like even Stole God Cooks being on the Clips album, Let God Sort Them Out. It's different, right? There's duality there. Everybody here coke raps, but the first song has nothing to do with drugs. There was only one thing mentioned about drugs on that first song, and that was his dad finding the bass in the cupboard, right? Like, dang, I gave you everything, but still somehow you still went to the streets, right? It was a nuance nuance to it. It was something to bring out of it other than just I'm fucking these hoes. I don't like these hoes. These hoes are this. These hoes are that. Da 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 da. Right? It's the same thing, bro. It's boring.
So I saw the frustration in the few sets of eyes here. So here's my question, right? So does he have a point when he talks about?
No.
Let me finish. The contradiction as it relates to the content, because we have all been surrounded by or even taken part in conversations where we say, all they talk about is this. This is trash. All they talk about is this. So he flips it and says Freddie Gibbs is talking about this. This is all that he talks about. And it's boring because I've said a whole bunch of shit is boring because this is all they talk about. So is there some meat on the bone in terms of what he said? Because the way he talked about this made me scratch my head just a little bit. Just a little bit in terms of how he said it.
No, I think
it might be a little bit of meat on the bone, bro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying it right.
I do think he has a little bit of a point when you think about the easy listening conversation.
Right.
About how you can just put it on and listen to it. I know exactly what I'm going to get from Gibbs every time.
Yep.
And I know that I'm never going to be blown away by anything that Gibbs is going to say. It's just going to be the same thing over and over again.
At a high quality.
Super high quality.
Right.
So I think from that angle. Now, would I call it boring? No, I don't think I would call it boring.
Okay.
Nah, I agree. I wouldn't call it boring. And then, I mean, Read My Soul, he's a New Yorker. So he's going aside
Clearly.
with Benny and them.
Not really though.
I don't know if I would
He's from South Carolina.
He's from New York. But he lives in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is, bro, and I'm coming right back to you. I don't know if I think he's more with his opinions. I think he's more consistent with his opinions.
No,
I don't see too many things where I would be deemed biased.
No, I'm not saying that he's inconsistent with anything, but
Okay.
I'm saying he's a New Yorker at the end of the day.
Clearly.
That's more so what he's going to vibe with. That's not taking anything away of how he's listening to this Freddie Gibbs. I mean,
I am.
I'm a Naptonian. I'm from Naptown.
If we're gonna do that,
and Gary is Naptown adjacent.
it is.
So my ears are programmed like that. And I like Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
I've said plenty of times that out of those three, his albums kind of more resonate with what I want to hear.
And the last one he dropped is fire.
But he's not the best rapper out of the crew. But to me, his albums, I really like them.
Disagree
But
with that
when it
too.
comes to this being a boring album, the Freddie Gibbs joint, I don't think it's boring at all. It goes back to it being easy listening, and there's bars, there's reasons to listen to it. Like I can play it and just have it as background music, but I can turn my ears on too and hear what he's actually saying. And like, oh, he's really talking about some shit.
I also think that you can like Benny and Freddie at the same time.
You can.
100%.
I like Freddie
And I'm
and Freddie at the same
mad.
time.
100%.
And I've said this before. I'm mad that those two are
Don't
beefing.
get along. They could make some
Because
great
they
records
could make
together.
an awesome album together. Because every feature that they've had together is fire.
They could have given
Every
us
single one.
they could have given us two by now. Facts.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I ain't taking nothing away from Read My Soul. I actually rock with him. And
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
his opinions on things.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, he's a New Yorker. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Nap. And I like Freddie Gibbs, man. I've always liked Freddie Gibbs. It's never been a bias.
And I'm going to say one more thing real quick.
Go ahead, Lo.
I would argue that Benny's content is no different.
It's
The
not
inconsistency
Yeah, that is correct.
in comparison to Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah, because how many times has Benny told you about whatever money he had saved up and going broke and having to put some to the side, and I didn't take this record deal because it wasn't enough money, or
does.
you know what I'm saying? He says the
Now, he's
same
clever
things.
with it. He's clever with it.
Yeah.
Bishop B. You seem like you've been fidgeting in your seat and moving around, adjusting. Talk to me, man. What you think about Read My Soul's comments?
I'm going to tell him to respectfully shut the up. Okay. And that's most notably just because, like, if you would have gave me somebody else besides Griselda, you know what I mean, I could have agreed with you. But you said that Freddie talks about the same shit, and then you give me Stove God, which I'm a real big fan of. I really enjoy Stove God.
Yeah.
Benny, Conway.
Yeah.
You didn't say West Side, but
No,
you
he
might
didn't.
as well.
We're going to throw him in
And
there.
Benny.
Yeah.
Stop it, bro. You know what I mean? They all talk about the same shit. It's just your ears
Wrestling and drugs.
Yeah, your ears are just a little bit more inclined to accept that because that's where you from.
Yeah, that part.
Now, me, I am from the Midwest. He gives me, I'm championing my fellow Midwest brother, but he's giving me West Coast vibes. He's giving me East Coast vibes.
He has.
Where did the West Coast sound come from, though?
I love when he makes this point.
The Midwest.
Thank you. He said Terry will say this from time to time, let everybody know. Facts.
He's giving me all of the above. You know what I mean? So I don't get your point, man. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that you put your point of view out here in the atmosphere and all of this, that, and the third. But respectfully, shut the up.
Jay, put a bow on this, man. In terms of read my soul.
Look, I said this last week, definitely check out our previous episodes, newoldheads.com, all that. I don't have a problem with people being thematically homogenous, if you will.
Ooh,
if
look
you
at
are
them words.
doing high level
Education.
emceeing. And this is what I'm getting from Freddie. This is what I get from Clips. This is what I get from Benny. Okay, yeah, we get it. The rabbit on the cross. I get it. But I don't care because there is a level of intricacy and care that goes into these bars that he could rap about the same thing 14 different ways. And I'll be just fine with it. Because there is a craft to emceeing that is cared for in this project that I can appreciate.
Can I play? I'm just want to try this. I'm going to throw this on the table real quick to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So is it fair to say that if you rap about the same thing, same content, as long as you care and the product is good, that separates you from the people that also rap about the same thing?
Yes, it does.
I'm just throwing this out there just to see where we at.
If you're really a fan of these people, you know that sometimes they do break from those themes that are prevalent within their music.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Excluding, our favorite, the top three.
What we talk about now?
You said
Artists.
Top three
them.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I got you.
Excluding them. And even including all but one. How many of your artists that you listen to are actually talking about something different from project to project?
Kanye, when he wasn't crazy.
How many of the people that I
can't-
like?
Yeah, because
I mean,
the people that I want to name are in that section, so I'm trying to leave them out because I know one off top. We all know one off top that fluctuates just like Outkast did. We're gonna set them to the side.
Because he said excluding the top three. So
He did, so I can't use that.
but there's the thing is there's not a top three, right? There's only a one. So
You're right. That's why I said including the other two.
I wish I had
on the
like
show,
a
it's hit.
star sound or a bell for what I used to call 100 comments, because that's 100 comment right there.
It's the
There's
truth,
only
though.
one. That's 100
We
comments.
said on this show, it's him
and then
and
everybody
everybody
else. Yeah.
Okay,
which is true.
but your question was specifically how many artists that we really like change their subject matter from project to project?
Yeah, it ain't not many of them.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to make this point because, to your point, there's really no artist that does that, and it kind of surrounds all genres.
Yeah.
If you listen to one particular artist that makes love songs, every one of their albums is going to have love songs.
Wait. So I'm coming
Not
right
just hip hop.
No.
It's
I'm coming right back to you though. But I will say this. Outkast and the things that I always use them as the barometer for this, because to me they were flawless at this. But with Outkast, their subject matter was familiar or similar throughout the course of their
It
career.
just sounded different.
The sound,
But what
the
is
sound fluctuated every single time.
What
I
is
think
their-
that goes into
okay?
it too.
This is very obvious because what is the name? The group's name.
They're Outkast.
It speaks for itself. They're outcasts. So they're doing things the way that they do things. Andre 3000 wasn't Andre 3000 on the first 2 albums. He was Andre.
Andre Benjamin.
I think some subject matter. I think
he might as well have been Andre 3000 on the second one.
On the second one,
yeah.
But I mean,
on
he
AT
evolved.
Aliens,
Yeah. That was the kind of the introduction to Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Sometimes he was Andre Benjamin.
Yeah.
He was Andre Benjamin on the first one.
Yeah.
100%. Go ahead, Lone. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, it also depends on the subject matter too, right? Because some subject matter has more legs than just simply coke rap and hoes.
Exactly.
Well, that's
You know,
true.
like
That's
Fonte raps about the same thing on every album, but it's just his life,
His life.
and his life is changing.
Yeah.
Right?
Big Crit. That's
You know,
good.
so like I feel like
Big Crit's another one.
there's a difference between somebody who's kind of I don't want to call it novelty because that's not necessarily what it is, but it's like it's almost thematic in a way. It's like I'm talking only about this thing. It's like the Clips. The Clips evolved a little bit on their new one.
No, they did.
You
I
know?
actually brought it
So-
up last episode. I talked about how they evolved, but it's still fresh. But my whole point to bringing up other genres is the other genres, they stay on the same subject matter that they're known for. When you think about a Mary J. Blige album, what do you want to hear?
Heartbreak.
She's going to talk
Heartbreak
about what she's been through.
and
Facts.
rising out through the flames or
Facts.
whatever. You're gonna hear that on every album.
Facts.
Rock and roll is just rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Sex, drugs, and violence.
there you go. I don't understand why there's always a stigma behind hip hop artists. Now, I understand when somebody's rapping about the same and it doesn't sound like they're evolving.
That part.
I.e., Lil Wayne rapping about the same it doesn't sound like he's evolving.
Good point.
When you talk about the Clips, they rap about the same thing, but they're evolving. When you talk about Freddie Gibbs, he's rapping about the same thing, but he's evolving. Even the same people that he mentioned, like you said, Griselda, rapping about the same thing, but they're evolving. I mean, Conway is a rap machine, literally. He raps his ass off. When you think about Benny the Butcher raps about the same thing every time. But I mean, it's kind of a new spin on it. But I don't understand how you differentiate a Freddie Gibbs from everybody else. It doesn't sound boring. I heard people say J. Cole sounds boring.
Yeah, that's weird too. That's weird.
I can understand where they're coming from. I like J. Cole though, but I understand why they say he's boring is because it's more so his inflection, how he's rapping and shit.
It ain't even that. It's the Sonics.
The Sonics go into it. The Sonics go into it.
Yeah, so I mean, I get that, but I don't get it with this particular argument matching up a Freddie Gibbs and Griselda, because honestly, some of Benny's best songs are featuring Freddie Gibbs.
Benny will also reach out. The one thing between him and I believe I'm coming to Jay. The one thing I will say about Benny is he will experiment more with production. Even on this project, he got a joint with Bun B on his most recent project.
Yeah, the track with the eardrummers.
Thank you. So he will take more risks from a production standpoint
They don't know who the Air Drummers.
than Westside Gun or Conway will, to my knowledge. So sonically, I think Benny will definitely evolve more than the other two will. Just from what I've heard. Jay, I know we done been around the world, but what you think, man? What you think about Read My Soul?
Look, man, I think there is a little personal bias to what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it seems like the Griselda may be regional. It just might be, you might just be a fan of somebody like that. I know somebody who, at one point, if you told them anything about a Jay-Z record being better than a Nas record, they'd want to fight you, even though they don't really have a problem with Jay-Z, but like they just like Nas so much that, there's no way, you could point to this Jay-Z song being better than anything that Nas has ever done, but I just think when it was kind of like what Brotherton Nice said is like, how could you say that about Freddie Gibbs and then your example of, someone who does he's not even saying the opposite, but your example is someone who, like I said, has subject matter that not as only is similar, but sometimes thematically they do the exact same thing,
Linear.
and it's not particularly that much different, So once again, I think we all have our internal biases, whether it be about music or anything else, and sometimes they come out in the opinions that we express when these microphones are on. And honestly, that's just for anybody who's an artist out there, that's life, and you better get used to it.
Yeah, so respectfully, Read My Soul.
He said that. Jay Moore said that.
Shut the
He gonna make a whole video about you telling him to shut
That's
the fuck
cool.
up.
That's cool.
We gonna all be in the thumbnail.
BROTHA, the number 2, DAKNIGHT. Respectfully.
We gonna be all in the thumbnail when he get cooked.
He ain't gonna rock with us no more.
No, I don't believe that.
I'm just talking.
It's all opinions.
I like
you
that
know?
brother.
I'm
though,
just
man.
talking.
He's good.
Like,
He
I
doesn't
don't,
keep it a
I
buck.
don't agree with his opinion.
Yeah,
on
I
this.
mean, he kind of reached on another reaction video that Lone did earlier today that I saw. I was like, yeah, you reaching, brother, but
we,
and that wasn't a shut the fuck up moment.
I feel
But
you.
I heard what he said and said.
Yeah.
But you talking about an Indiana guy?
Yeah, what is it? Nap or nothing and adjacent.
Yeah,
it's definitely adjacent because
Yeah.
this is a pro Freddie Gibbs podcast for sure. All right, Lone.
spready.
See, that's
See,
what's
you
going to
are-
get us in
see?
trouble.
Yeah, that's what's gonna get us in
No,
trouble.
it's not because I'm not biased.
Killing
you know
me,
what I mean? I
man.
can tell
You
you.
killing me,
There's nothing.
Deacon.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being loyal to your soil. I literally saw like a cat on the Disney cruise that had on a Naptown, Nap or Nothing shirt, and I went and spoke to him
You
to
bought
let
him
him
a drink?
know we in here.
So, is Drake's overall body of work being unfairly critiqued or criticized? And this is piggybacking off of Not Like Us, the battle, and Kendrick saying all these things that go towards his culture and what he is and what he isn't.
I'll just say no.
You gonna go ahead and say no?
The Drake songs that people like, it's not like they stopped liking Hotline Bling.
So here, let me pose the question, and then I'm gonna come right back to you, Jay.
It's not like they stopped liking, all the records that I've seen work for Drake over past decade plus. If if DJs still know how to work those records in, and people still react to them, they're not like walking off the dance floor and be like, "Oh, he not like us. He not that."
So
there is a before Not Like Us and an after Not Like Us.
So let me put this in the atmosphere, and then you guys respond. So does a track like Not Like Us provide a valid framework for analyzing an artist's entire catalog, like Drake, or his artistic choices?
Well, he didn't make that record though.
Yeah, he didn't.
I'm talking about how people react, like what Not Like Us said, making people look at Drake's catalog differently is what I'm saying.
I don't think
because
so.
he's the colonizer card or whatever it is. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think so. I mean, people that like Drake are still gonna rock with Drake. There's people that you can still have a Drake party right now, and people are gonna come just to hear Drake songs.
Okay.
I hate even having to categorize Drake and Kendrick all the time now.
Yeah,
because it's like a thing. So anytime Drake drops something, we got to bring up Kendrick. Anytime Kendrick drops, we got to bring up Drake.
Yeah,
I'm kind of over that whole situation. Now, as far as his body of work being unfairly critiqued,
yeah. When people
do you want to be a rapper or do you want to be a pop star at the end of the day?
good point.
He always
I mean, our
shows.
first episode was about him being a pop star.
That's what
Good
he
point.
shows. It's
That's
the
what he
life
chose. So he has to kind of stay in his lane. And what happened with that situation, he was exposed. So he got exposed, but that doesn't necessarily make you want to critique his catalog more. We've always critiqued his catalog before that even happened.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've said exactly the same thing the entirety of this entire show. This battle,
Pre and post this battle.
yeah, he's exactly who he's always been. To me, only thing that Kendrick did is he put him right out for he just articulated everything for people to see
That's fair.
that aren't us.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean,
I'll say
what
this
you think, B?
as far as the initial question, does it make you question his discography? And for me, that song did not do that for me.
Okay.
Because I always knew that Drake's albums were never, like, for the most part, they weren't
Great cohesive. They weren't great cohesive pieces of work.
exactly. They weren't. You weren't supposed to, like, once they started naming them like top, playlists and things like that. That's exactly what they are. They're time capsules.
Right.
Drake's albums are time capsules, and you're supposed to digest them for that period of time, and then move to the next record when he comes with something. Yeah,
Moment
because
music. Elite moment music.
it's not like you create your moments to that period of time when that record was out, and then you move forward. It's not something for you to live with.
That's fair.
But this is the thing, and this is why I say, regardless of what we know now or what we think now, as far as what happened during the battle, you can't take people's memories from them.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
You know, when they were in the club and they were having the best night and they were popping bottles or doing whatever, or they met their girlfriend, wife, whatever, and those songs were playing, you can't take that from them just because of this battle. And that's why I don't call anything as far as Drake's catalog into question because maybe I because of Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same way when 50 dropped Back Down. It's not like, it was a big thing where people sided with 50 and he sold all those records. But Ja Rule is still out here touring up here and doing Holla Holla and Put It On Me. And, you know.
He pissed on that man at that moment, though.
Yeah, he did. But you know what? It was a thing where you can't take the memories and the feeling that people had when they heard those records when Ja Rule was on top of the world. And that's why he can still tour to this day. And Drake can do the same. If he never made it, if he said, I'm going to scrap this whole Iceman thing, anything, and he only did records from before the battle, he could still tour the largest venues and do his thing. Because at whatever, when you're outside and those records are a part of your memories, you know, there's Kendrick, as popular as he is now, he can't take those away from you. No, and you're going to enjoy Drake's records for what they are, for where you were at the time.
Yeah, you're going to continue to do that. Just like Ja Rule, his problem was he didn't make another hit after that. And people weren't allowing it. He didn't. I mean, he made New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was aside from the actual songs that he was known for.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? He kind of steered. Drake is in a position where that's not going to affect him because his catalog is so long and he's such a big artist that regardless of what happened with him and Kendrick and how many times we got to keep bringing up this, you know what I'm saying, this versus that, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you like Drake before, you still like Drake.
Yeah.
If you like Kendrick before, you still like Kendrick. It's just that people decided to say this guy championed you, but I still rock with you. Like, it doesn't matter that I like Kendrick more than Drake. I've never not ran Drake music when I'm out.
That's a good point.
Never not. You know what I'm saying? So
that's facts.
It really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Whether who's popular or who's not. I mean, because they're both in a position. They're going to win regardless.
I mean, my mission statement has always been since we've, done this show, Drake is Teflon. I don't give a damn what comes down the pike.
Too big to fail.
He's going to be Teflon because he's a pop star. Period. Like, he's infallible. Like, I don't care what. And Kendrick had one of the best. You can make an argument. We can talk about this, or even if we have, make an argument. This is one of the illest runs I've ever seen in our lifetime for a rapper. I'm talking about
Drake.
No, I'm talking about Kendrick. I'm talking about the Super Bowl, Not Like Us, how it was received. Skip the Grammys. You can lead them out. Like the success.
Why would you lead them out? That's part of the run.
I mean, we've never really rocked with the Grammys like that.
Lone doesn't rock with the Grammys.
I mean, I want one. But I'm talking about overall. Like, if you want to keep the Grammys, cool.
But you're talking about multiple number one songs. You're talking about a record
Billboard,
that is sold,
all that. That's what I'm talking about. Just cumulatively.
Well.
You can do the Grammys or you cannot do them. But what I'm saying is his run. Come on, man. When's the last time you seen a run like this for
It's solid.
But even with that being said, Drake is still Teflon.
I said this like before, and it was kind of taken the wrong way. Look, as long as he has women,
it's not going to change.
And children, who like some of his sing songs.
Come on, rocking with Kendrick right now.
You're right. You're right.
It's proof.
It's both.
It's proof. That's both.
They've come out. I've seen the TikToks and the social media when Drake dropped his new instrumental thing that I was talking about.
Yeah,
they are back out.
100%.
They're back out. 100% behind.
There you go. The proof is in the pudding.
Teflon.
Okay.
To your example about Ja Rule, I think it's a different time. It's a different day and different time because when 50 and Ja Rule were going at back and forth with each other, man, it was a completely different thing, man. Like it felt like nobody wanted to mess with Ja Rule.
Yeah, well, you're right.
You know what I mean? People were still fighting. You could still get online and still see the opinions of people fighting for Drake amidst that battle or whatever.
That's true.
So
There's still
that's
people who
why-
think he won.
Yeah,
Right now.
you know
Right
what I mean?
now.
So I think it was different. When that 50 and Ja Rule thing happened, man, it felt like nobody wanted to mess with Ja Rule. Nobody wanted to touch him.
It feel like the industry turned their back on Ja
Yeah.
Rule. But that was also the
He
same.
didn't
That was
drop nothing else that was hot other
Thank
than that
you.
song.
I mean, but
Thank you.
I mean, what's the name? Clapback was cool.
Nah,
Man,
but
Blood
not
on My
like
Eye
that.
was trash.
I just know. New
Then he
York
started
and
serving.
I
Then he
didn't
had the
listen to
festival
anything
where he
else.
was serving.
Clapback was nice,
yeah.
but Back Down was 10 times better. But go ahead, my
And
brother.
he
there was a, but that was also during the time, and I'm not excusing Ja Rule's output, but that was when the feds was on him, and they had to like shut down Murder Inc.
Man, listen.
It was a lot of bad timing in that
I feel
area.
you, but to Terry's point, some of them records though was.
Now, 50, the thing, 50 came out and dropped a classic and was on Ja Rule at the same time.
Took his style.
And Ja Rule did not answer back properly. He had 2 joints.
Facts.
And Clapback was not
Not
a
it.
good
That
answer
wasn't
back
it.
for an album that dropped that had he had like a bonus part that had some other shit on there too.
He preaching right now.
Talking about Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Ja didn't have it, and he didn't have no features with Ashanti and
He preaching.
Mariah Carey or anybody that can pull him out of that fire.
He preaching.
Well, this is the thing.
He
With Ja
preaching.
Rule, he let 50 knock him off of his square that got him all that success.
At the end of the day, Drake is Teflon,
Yeah.
and Ja Rule didn't do what he's supposed to do. He served perch dinners at whatever that was,
He
and that
tried to
didn't
get
work.
gangster with it.
And that didn't work either. So
He's sitting
yeah.
down talking to Farrakhan, and
None of that worked.
yeah,
all that was
that's
bull-
bad.
all that was
Sitting
bullshit.
down talking to Farrakhan don't work.
At the end of the day, Drake is still Teflon, and I don't think people are going to look into his career. And he's still going to be the pop star that he's always been.
He's
It's
not
just-
going to be questioned. If
No.
anything,
Nah.
with how July has went for rap releases, his album better be solid as
He gonna move units. I don't give a damn if
because
it's trash.
this Clips album,
He gonna move units.
this Clips album, this Larry June album, and this Freddie Gibbs album, all in the same month. And you got to say Tyler the Creator.
You have
too.
to,
You're
because Tyler is doing some of the things that you probably want to do.
You guys
Tyler
are-
is
but-
touring like big arenas and shit like that.
You guys are naming albums that are not in, like Drake's album. I don't think they're even in the same category. I
But
don't.
they're going to be in the same category.
Drake's
That's what I'm
album-
saying.
Well, they will. You're right. They
Drake's
will.
album
They
is
will.
going to do well. Just
Oh, it's gonna
not,
be. It's gonna do phenomenal.
just not here in America
Well,
because he's not
It'll
made.
do just fine here
I
in
think it'll
America.
do fine.
it's
here.
gonna do fine in both. He's a pop star. He's an international pop star. It's gonna
But,
do fine.
It's going to do way better overseas in
Okay.
in the UK and across
If it's
the
a
pond.
UK album, if he's trying to just tap into
so,
that whole energy,
That he is. Everything I heard from those snippets and whatever, that's why he went over there and said that.
Hey, yo, the best part- the best
because
part-
most of the project is that I'm almost guaranteeing that most of the artists that are featured on that project are going to be artists from over there. That's the vibe, that's the wave that he's riding. You haven't heard the new song, but that's the vibe it's on.
The best part of this whole segment is Lone is sitting over there like Mr. Rogers, not caring about Drake talk. We all know G Herbo, Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So he was recently, he thinks that Akademiks and DJ Glad actually should pay the city of Chicago because of their millions upon millions that they've received by exploiting and talking about, things that happen in Chicago.
I feel like all those kind of guys, what they should do is give to a nonprofit organization in Chicago that I'm gonna challenge them to do that. Like
What's yours
Akademiks, Vlad, all you that they made money off of culture and people dying and bloodshed and shit like that. Go donate $20,000 or $50,000 to a nonprofit organization that focus on just the betterment of kids.
I absolutely agree.
Here's my question, and Terry pretty much just answered it before I asked, but why should content creators, or we're going to say journalists, and I say that lightly because a lot of these motherfuckers are not journalists. They just talk crazy and race bait and do goofy shit, if we being honest. Should they have to sow seeds back into these communities or into the industries that they've made millions off?
They're not obligated to, but should they do it? Yes.
The question is not obligation, but should they?
Yes, they should.
Why?
Just because, man, now you built your platform off of destruction.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that the battles of Chirac. is ultimately what catapulted you into stardom.
Facts.
Mr. Akademiks. You know what I mean?
You cornball.
So yeah, you could do something to, try to better the city of Chicago. And it would be in your best interest to do it before Freddie Gibbs finds you and jiggles your titties.
No, I absolutely agree, man, because
they owe.
Yeah.
They owe.
Especially Akademiks, because I don't rock with Vlad either, but like the whole academic situations to me, it's almost like he wears a cape as far as I've never been to Chicago. He always talked about how he had never even been to Chicago and profited off of Chicago. Like, these artists never went to see him. They actually went to see Vlad.
They did.
Even though Vlad is a cultural vulture as well and does what he does, and some people get themselves indicted by going on his show talking too much.
Facts.
But we would know nothing about Akademiks if it wasn't for him talking about Chicago and things that went on in Chicago. So I feel like this is an extortion move. This kind of like back in the day when old dude from Detroit said everybody got to check in with him before they trick before y'all touch down and do anything.
Legend.
Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like G Herbo is flexing his muscle. Like, literally, y'all owe something, and if y'all touch down here and that hasn't happened, then
restitution.
Yeah, if somebody say something to you, I can't help you.
Yeah,
because I'm literally putting it out there that what you did was, you know what I'm saying? You use us to propel yourself. So now you need to use your resources that you've gained by promoting us. Somebody knows nothing about where we're from and what we did and how we came up. You need to give back to the shit you was talking about. I'm 100% in agreement with G Herbo on that.
Long, where you at? Do you got anything?
Nope.
All right. Ezekiel laugh. J Moore, what you think about this, man, overall?
I am in 100% disagreements with this.
Disagreements with
them having to give back.
Oh,
because
I can't wait.
Because if anybody needs to give back, it needs to be every rapper that talks that gang and and has created a life for themselves. Where they can remove destruction.
I think they do give back.
You know what? If you have, that's great. But if I don't know about it. Like I said, I'm removed from that politic. But if you are really that adamant about what's going on in the streets, then you make sure there's some youth programs. You got the boots on the ground. You make sure you don't worry about these folks who are living in Calabasas and upstate New York. You're right there. Everybody want to talk about all these people do this, but then we had our own situation here over the 4th of July with the youth downtown. But, I also, check in on WGN because I got, I went to school at Southern Illinois University of Carbondale. So I still have a certain connection to Chicago because that's where all the people that I knew came from, and I kicked it with. And so when I check in on what's going on up there, it was ridiculous up there for the 4th of July. And that doesn't have anything to do with any internet videos. That's about the community and somewhere there's a disconnect specifically with the youth. And the youth would listen to G Herbo if they showed up, or I can't say some of these other folks because they indicted right now.
Hold up.
I can say two things are right.
No. Let me finish.
Go ahead, finish. I have a rebuttal.
And so, yes, we can say, these people owe, and I do think Akademiks specifically owes because, until he's basically doing documentaries about the war in Chirac and has, for what I know, he's never touched down there. If he has, fine, but I don't know if he's ever talked to the people or actually been outside.
He ain't gonna tell nobody when he show up.
But my thing is this, somewhere there has to be the community, like all these rappers, like G Herbo, go talk to these rappers and tell them stop smoking on packs. See, if you really want to see this sort of thing end, if you don't talk about somebody like Akademiks dropping off $50,000, that's nothing to Akademiks. There has to be, money is not going to change the mentality. There has to be something else, and I think that speaks to what happens in the community for people who are actually there.
So let's go back to a conversation that we had about Kai Cenat. Did I say it right?
No, but go ahead.
So how you say it? How you say it, Bishop?
That's good enough.
I thought it was
we know who you're talking
Pastor.
about.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Either way, y'all know what I'm talking about.
There's no way that Sonat is hard to pronounce. Bro, not Sonat.
We talked about his power in, social media, a lot of these younger streamers or what have you. Akademiks is one of those people that preceded him, that had success and all that type of stuff, right? So, Jay, I understand what you're saying about the rappers and holding rappers accountable. That's cool because I've always been, pro that. But for you to say, like, to make it seem like that's going to be that much more impactful when Akademiks is broadcasting to the world, I don't agree with that.
Can I interject?
When's the last time Akademiks did anything like that?
I don't even watch him, but I know his impact is still, even if
He
we
doesn't
wanna,
need that platform.
even if we
anymore.
want to go into a time capsule of when it was really popping, it definitely moved.
I'm just saying, whatever
being
Akademiks, what Akademiks has talked about recently, probably got nothing to do with Chicago, and that has nothing to do with what happened over
That
there during
doesn't
the
mean
4th of July.
that doesn't mean that the groundwork was not laid. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Lon.
My question would be is to this, and I did have something to say, but I wanted you guys to talk. Is donating to a nonprofit in the specific way that G Herbo is talking about, is that going to actually
Make a difference.
institute any type of significant change?
Good
Absolutely
question.
not.
That's a good question.
That G Herbo is suggesting that it specifically would. And the thing is
question.
Terry said something really quick. He didn't go further on it, but I think multiple things can be true at the same time. I do think a certain amount of restitution could be contributed to some degree, but just like donating to a nonprofit, it's just that's the bare basics.
That does come off as like the bare minimum, right?
His restitution at the end of the day.
Okay, that's
what-
fair. That's fair.
I think.
Where's the accountability is the thing that
That's
I'm
fair.
saying.
That's fair.
Where's the gap moving forward?
So I'm
That's
with
fair.
all of that. I'm with all the accountability, and people should be talking about different things that inspire kids in a different situation, in different way. I'm with all of that. But my whole gripe, and I think my whole thing with Akademiks and Vlad, and I hold Akademiks to a different standard, because he has not had any of these artists on his platform that he talked about, or any of these people.
Yep.
People have voluntarily went to Vlad and sat down on his platform.
Yep.
To be, you know what I'm saying, you can almost say interrogated, because you're giving up information that you didn't have to give out.
Openly.
Akademiks would not have had his situation with Joe Budden if it wasn't for what he was talking about. He wouldn't be where he is now if it wasn't for what he was talking about. And he has not acknowledged or gave back to what he was, you know what I'm saying? His whole content at one point in time was Chicago, and he was speaking from a person that wasn't from Chicago and knows nothing about what's going on there.
Yep.
That's why I feel like what G Herbo is saying is valid, as far as him contributing to an organization that's helping kids not follow that same road toward the things that Akademiks were talking about.
Sure. My only statement to that, and I agree 100% with almost what everybody is saying, to be honest. Because I agree with Jay, but I also agree with what you're saying. My thing is more so like, what is it? The thing is what is the right amount?
Yeah.
Like what is the, like if he's actually going to instill the change though, like if you really want to hold him accountable, what does that actually look like?
That's a question that
and then
we
that
would-
goes to kind of Jay's
Yeah,
point, you know?
it does. That's a question we would
No,
probably
Jay's
have to,
right. He's 100% right on that.
He's right.
He
That's
right
a
on that.
question that we would have to probably sit down and ask Doug about, because he actually works with kids and understands how that funding works, and what it takes to make things and projects that's going to make an impact on these kids' lives.
You know what's
So I
crazy?
understand that.
You know what's crazy though? You guys both, we've all alluded to, I guess, what it would take or what it would be, or, what would be sufficient or something that would have the impact. And, I talked about the bottom of the barrel, going from the top to the bottom, before we came into the segment. It's my belief that Akademiks would not go to a school like DeSalle or something on the South Side and talk to kids about the harm that comes with rap or that comes with the street life or whatever, and have that recorded, because it totally contradicts his brand.
But I don't think that's something anybody wants.
No, I don't think.
No. What I'm
and
saying,
it wouldn't help in any way.
What I'm saying is, if he were to do the donation or whatever, to me, you have to make these people that have benefited so much. And this is just me being a consumer. Maybe I want them to be uncomfortable. Go talk to the kids that you have initially talked to and helped with the destruction that's going on in the
kids
city.
that you exploited.
That part. Like, I want you to go talk to them.
Those kids
and
are now grown.
Thank you. Like, some of them are grown, but it's babies that come behind them. Like, I want to put you in an uncomfortable position where you have to talk to these people that you made millions off of, and the mamas and the families or whatever. That's my train of thought. I don't think they'll do that because it goes against their brand and everything that they have now.
Yeah, and I think more so what I would lean into is he's got a major platform. He's pivoted his platform, but he could do something based upon what he is doing with his platform to potentially address this in a different type of way.
That's fair.
And I think that would potentially have more impact. I think he should contribute to something. I think it would be great. I mean, it's not hard to donate $100,000 for scholarships for people to go to these programs and stuff like that. You know, that's a thing that you can do.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's actually noble. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, just from my talkings amongst people that actually deal in this type of area, I'm not privy to it, but I've heard of $1 million grants that goes to these type of programs in order to purchase everything that's needed to school these kids and kind of help get them, you know what I'm saying? What's it called? Scholarships.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you how this stuff works. I mean, it's very simple. If we have money at Akademiks, the DJ and music production school, if we have money, what that allows us to do, let's say somebody gifts us $500,000. That allows us to upgrade our facilities. That allows us to take in more students. What that also allows us to do is to pay the people that are teaching so that we can have more people in, and they can pay for the students that are taking the courses. And then it's not paywalled. Then it's not just the people that can afford to take classes. We can offer classes to different people and demographics, even some underprivileged people as well, and communities such as that, which we try to do anyways. Our prices are low, but it would allow us to potentially raise our prices to maybe a more reasonable rate that makes sense for us, but then pay for people to get the things that they want, right? So that's how this stuff would work.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not against the idea of, you know, these people making donations, but what I'm saying is, I mean, maybe I'm just, and like I said, I don't know, man, because I'm just frustrated at a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm frustrated at the violence and people, because, you know, somebody who, you know, witnessed a friend get killed over basically nothing.
Come on.
And then know someone else who was killed 6-7 months later over basically nothing.
Yeah.
No, it was nothing.
I'll just say it was nothing.
Yeah, don't say basically.
It was nothing.
It was nothing.
And I'm like, I'm like, money is not going to change that mentality. And I don't want to. And if there's any organization that needs to pay some restitution, it's Fox News, because they've made it seem like Chicago, it might as well be Gotham City. God damn it!
Money will change.
That's real.
Money changes the situation, because like I actually know people that mentor kids.
Yeah,
and you have to make a living to mentor kids.
It's just true.
You know what I'm saying? So in order to mentor these kids that need help, I need to be compensated. It may not be much, because they don't make a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? To volunteer and help these kids.
Yeah.
Look, nobody gets involved in
money.
it.
That money is essential for helping somebody that actually has a good heart that wants to lead somebody in the right way in order to pay their bills. To be able to show up and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe not. My thing was money might change it, but the only way it does that is if you instill programs to give these children something to do, an alternative to do aside from being out in the streets and playing around in the streets.
But that's all kind of related, though.
That's a good point, though.
It's like when you can fund people to create the programs to then assist. But Jay makes a very good point, and I won't go super deep on it, but like, this is bigger than just G Herbo and Akademiks. Like,
it's way bigger than that.
We mention Fox News, and we talk about even
sensationalism.
When we talk about just the United States of America in general, like that's what it kind of boils down to, realistically.
Because these communities where these things happen, and the thing is, you boil it down to Chicago, and a lot of times the focus is on Chicago, specifically when I talk about Fox News, because that's where President Obama was from. So to make it seem like it was the worst place in the world, and this is y'all's president. It's St. Louis, it's Indianapolis, it's Minneapolis, it's L.A., it's the Bronx. I'm telling you, somewhere along the line, the mentality and the value system for a certain segment is broken, and you can't blame that on academics, because he just highlighted what was wrong, and he highlighted it for money, which is nasty work. And I think that's, does he need to pay some restitution? Like, hey, G Herbo, have you cut a check? If you have, I appreciate you, brother.
Guarantee, that's the thing, though.
But all you
people have,
all you rappers from Chicago who are talking that gangster shit and encouraging our children, making it seem cool, and still, walking around with King Von t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to stop, and you need to, and for whatever you doing out there in the streets, y'all need to come up with a scholarship program.
No, I'm a G for that, and I know I don't know, well, personally here, I know people in those situations that have given back, and actually use their money for good, as far as trying to show kids this is the right, like tennis shoe drives. We're gonna donate a whole bunch of school supplies and things like that to the kids, so that the parents don't have to pay for it. I know that they do that in Chicago for a fact. So G Herbo ain't just speaking from like, I think you need to do it and I'm not doing it. I know that these cats are doing that shit. I know that what's my guy that's in legal trouble right now, Federico in Chicago.
Oh gosh, that's how quickly you forget when
that's
people
crazy.
go to jail. He had Dirk.
Little Dirk. I know for a fact that Dirk was putting his money where it needs to go, as far as helping and aiding people regardless of his lifestyle.
I know Chance the Rapper has. I remember I went up one time. I went up for a weekend to Chicago, and we were waiting like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours for some chicken and waffles, because Chance bought like a whole bunch of dinners for like kids.
Yeah. So they're doing it. So they're doing the work. That's why it's fitting for G Herbo to say that, because it's like, you've gained financial prosperity off of talking about us, so you need to do something about that as far as compensating us.
No, and if like I said, I don't know the situation on the ground. If that's what they're doing, then I got nothing but love for them. But I'm just saying, somewhere along the line, if you are doing for the community, but still in your raps, you talking crazy, then that's way more influential than any check that somebody drops off.
Touche.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out to my homie Ad too, who's also had done years.
He's doing a great job up there.
Nonprofit. Like, he has kids going to music seminars, and he's a member of the Grammy board. Like, shout out to him. He's done a great job in Chicago.
It's probably why
getting a lot of those kids off the street and getting them involved in music and, mentorship. So bro has been doing a great job and it ain't just now. He's been doing this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why we haven't heard a lot of new music from Ad, is because that's what takes up a lot of his time.
Working.
He's pouring back into that community.
Grime Fest as well.
Yeah.
He's one of those individuals.
So it's happening, but when you see, that's why I'm not mad at him, because when you see, you just look at the people that we deemed, it's the vultures. Yeah, like, come back and just sow some seeds. However it looks, we would want it to be, properly spread out amongst the garden, but yeah, come sow some seeds.
Yeah, I think
100%.
I'll agree. I'll agree with those sentiments, but I still think the onus needs to be on less the individuals and more so the power structures involved that are creating these situations to happen in the first place. The reason why Chicago is impoverished in the way that it is,
100%.
Why is that the case?
I think,
why is that not correct?
Because it's one of the most segregated, despite all the black people who are thriving up there, it is one of the most segregated cities in the United States of America, and that's by design.
Yeah, it's a lot of redlining up there.
And Lone, I think, to your point, two things can be true. That's facts.
Multiple things can be true.
Said that.
Yeah, but
doubling. I was just doubling. I got you. I just doubling.
Yeah, but I think a lot. I think it's an important point though. It's very easy.
Yeah.
to point blame on individuals.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like everything is about like, oh, you know, all these people are doing all these great things.
He did it.
No, well, I'm talking about the positive things.
No, for sure.
It's like, oh, they're doing all these positive things, and we want to be like, yeah, great for these people doing all these charities.
Yeah,
that our country can't even assist with.
Yeah,
they have to pick up the slack for what our country is
not doing.
It's kind of like when you see like a kid, you know, he mows lawns. He was going to buy an Xbox, and then he mows lawns so, you know, he can pay off all the lunch debt at his school. And people put that as a feel good story. That's not a feel good story. That's not. Up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like there's no reason why a kid who gets out and wants an Xbox, he can't spend the money on an Xbox because somewhere along the line the system has failed the other children in his school.
That part,
or even worse, you can't graduate because you got a school debt because you didn't pay for lunch.
Yeah.
All right, so is there anything else you brothers want to talk about before we
somebody get brother to the night at Red Bull?
He'll be all right. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna
be you wings.
That brother, that's another person in the community.
That's free promotion right there.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Man, Red Bull, shout out to Red Bull. Is there anything else?
Long day, brother.
Man.
All right, man. I didn't miss anything else before we get out of here, did I? We good?
No, we're good.
All right, let's go ahead and run the outro and get out of here.
Good time, fellas. Good time.
NewOldHeads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe, hit any bell you see for notifications. Also, give us a 5-star rating, and do not forget to hit our Patreon up where you get the full unedited episodes. We appreciate your support as always, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah.